R&B, pop, dance music at number 16, up from number 20 on my fancy playlist, June 13th, 2000. How you doing? It's Mr. DJ, resuming countdown my fancy playlist about 17 years ago now. This being 2017, fancy playlist, June 13th, 2000. Toni Braxton at number 16, up 4 from number 20. He wasn't man enough for me. Quite a sexy video to this song. She puts on a nice sporting look on this video. Toni Braxton, her first album went platinum 8 times over. And she was part of a group of sisters. She had 4 other sisters in this group called the Braxtons. And they auditioned for Babyface and L.A. Reid. And they were impressed with Toni Braxton. They signed her as a solo artist to LaFace Records. And this particular song, He Wasn't Man Enough for Me, from the album The Heat, I guess appropriately enough called The Heat, her third album off the LaFace record label, produced by Rodney Jenkins. Rodney Jenkins called himself Dark Child. That was his moniker, Dark Child. He's done a lot of production, big producer back in the day, producing This Boy's Mine co-produced that song with Dallas Austin and Brandy, the Brandy song, The Boy Is Mine. That was in '98. It's Not Right, But It's Okay, by Whitney Houston. He produced that, and he plays all the instruments on this song. He wasn't man enough for me. Definitely hands-on on this record, Dark Child. The focal range of this record, for you music aficionados out there who are really into the technical details, the focal range starts with a D sharp 4 chord, then it goes to C sharp 6, and a chord of G major. I'm not sure what that means, but if you're into voices, into how songs go up and down the musical registers, you're probably familiar. You probably know what I'm talking about. I hope you do, because I don't know what I'm talking about. But the piece of trivia came out at me, and I thought, I got to share this. By the way, a little trivia about Toni Braxton I didn't know about. She was married to a guy named Keri, K-E-R-I Lewis. They had 2 children. They were married for about 12 years. Formerly of Mint Condition. He was in the group Mint Condition. Had a couple of their songs in my fancy playlist back in the early 90s. Fancy that. Well, fancy this. This record, He Wasn't Man Enough for Me. It was a huge hit. Summer of 2000. Went to number 2 here in the States on Billboard's Hot 100. Went to number 5 in England. And it's Toni Braxton. Number 16 rather. On my fancy playlist of June 13th, 2000.